Coming up on 5 Minute News. Trump falsely claims election being stolen. Israeli forces leave 41 children homeless after razing Palestinian village. And Denmark announces cull of 15 million mink over COVID mutation fears. It's Friday, November 6. I'm Anthony Davis. Once again, Donald Trump falsely claimed victory in the presidential race on Thursday. At the same time, he accused his critics and the media of stealing the election from him in remarks riddled with inaccuracies and lies. Hundreds of thousands of legally cast votes have yet to be counted in several states, and there is not yet a winner in the race between Mr. Trump and Joe Biden. Trump spoke Thursday evening from the White House, the first time he's addressed the public since his victory remarks in the early hours of Wednesday morning after election night. His campaign has brought or threatened lawsuits in several closely contested states in an attempt to stop the counting of votes and undermine the democratic process. Election officials in key battlegrounds pressed forward on Thursday with presidential vote counting, as Democrat Joe Biden urged patience and Donald Trump pursued further legal options with little success, insisting the processing of ballots should be stopped. The president spent Thursday at the White House working the phones and escalating efforts to sow doubt about the outcome of the race. In a series of tweets, he pushed baseless allegations of electoral misconduct and said the ongoing vote count of ballots submitted before and on Election Day should cease. Joe Biden, meanwhile, sought to project the appearance of a president, speaking briefly to reporters after attending a COVID-19 briefing on Thursday. He offered reassurance that the counting could be trusted and declared that each ballot must be counted. "I ask everyone to stay calm. The process is working," said Biden. The different approaches unfolded as the nation waited to learn which man would collect the 270 electoral votes needed to capture the presidency. Biden's victories in Michigan and Wisconsin put him in a commanding position, but Trump showed no sign of giving up. It could take several more days for the vote count to conclude and for a clear winner to emerge. Israeli forces in the occupied West Bank have razed a Palestinian village, leaving 73 people, including 41 children, homeless in the largest forced displacement incident for years, according to the United Nations. Excavators escorted by military vehicles were filmed approaching Kirbet Humza and proceeding to flatten or smash up tents, shacks, animal shelters, toilets, and solar panels. "These are some of the most vulnerable communities in the West Bank," said Yvonne Hell, the UN humanitarian coordinator for the occupied Palestinian territory. "Three-quarters of the community lost their shelters during the operation," she said, making it the largest forced displacement incident in more than 4 years. However, by the number of destroyed structures, the raid was the largest demolition in the past decade, she added. On Wednesday, families from the village were seen rifling through their wrecked belongings in the wind, with some of the first rain of the year arriving the same day. The UN published a photo of a bed and a cot in the open desert. The village is one of several Bedouin and sheep-herding communities in the Jordan Valley area that is located within Israeli-declared army training firing zones, and despite being within the Palestinian territories, people there often face demolitions for a building without Israeli permission. Israel captured the West Bank from Jordanian forces in 1967 and continues to control and occupy the area, although Palestinians have limited self-rule over small enclaves. The country's hardline Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he intends to annex large swathes of occupied Palestinian territories, including the Jordan Valley, although the plan was temporarily suspended as part of a deal with the US and the United Arab Emirates. The world's largest mink producer, Denmark, says it plans to cull more than 15 million of the animals due to fears that a COVID-19 mutation moving from mink to humans could jeopardize future vaccines. The Danish Prime Minister, Mette Frederiksen, said 12 people are already infected with the mutated virus and that the mink are now considered a public health risk. She said the Army, Police and National Emergency Service would be mobilised to help farms with the mink cull, which will eradicate the entire Danish herd. The authorities and breeders have already been culling the animals over the past few weeks in a bid to contain the spread of COVID-19. Denmark's health minister said about half of 783 infected people in northern Denmark, home to a large number of mink breeders, had found to have infections stemming from the farms. Denmark is the world's largest producer of mink fur and has 15 to 17 million animals on around 1,100 farms. According to reports, the latest figures say COVID-19 infections have been found on more than 200 mink farms. You can subscribe to 5 Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5 Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Please subscribe, rate and review us at 5minute.news. 5 Minute News is an independent production covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering unbiased, verified and truthful world news daily.